Hi everyone, welcome back to Montreal in real life. I'm Montreal IRL, and today I'm going to be teaching you a thing or two about sage and smudging and how to cleanse your space effectively. Okay, let's get started. So there's a couple of forms sage comes in. As you can see, mine's kind of unraveling. This is a hand-rolled bundle that I got from someone in my Indigenous community. Bundles are a very common form that sage comes in, but they can also come in dried flakes such as this. And how you would burn, I'm not going to burn this one because this is my bundle. This is for big jobs. This is going to produce a lot of smoke, but if you just want a little bit of smoke, you want a little right? You can get little dried flakes. These are not the kind that you cook with. Okay, I believe it's from the same plant, but it's like, you know, it's dried, it's cured differently, all right? One of the things you need to acknowledge when using sage is that it does come from Indigenous communities. It is a mechanism of protection, of healing, of cleansing. Okay, there's a lot of things that sage is used for, and it's important to recognize the reason that you're using sage and where that knowledge comes from. So I wanted to make this video just to inform people of efficient and effective ways of smudging. Smudging is when you light the sage and the smoke kind of produces and you waft that around your space. It is the smoke that kind of acts as the barrier of protection or of cleansing, and the act of you kind of letting that happen in your space is called smudging. You can also smudge yourself, which I will demonstrate for you. You can smudge other people. You can smudge things like stones. If you have these for protection and healing as well, it's always important to cleanse your stones or your other mechanisms of like energy shields, because they, you know, they're magnetic. They pick up on energies and they can get clogged, and that happens to sage as well. So one thing I want to mention is that I think that it's best to get sage from someone who is kind of selling it, like a vendor in your Indigenous community if you're able, because like I said, it stems from Indigenous knowledge. And so, you know, if you're gonna buy sage, you should support Indigenous communities, not just, you know, those kind of like little stores, you know, you see with like all the random trinkets and like postcards and like keychains, and they have like sage. I do not think that you should be buying sage from there, because like I said, these type of mechanisms pick up on energies just as much as they can clear them out. And when you have sage sitting in a store where so many people are passing by, picking it up, touching it, you know, they get their energy on it, and you don't want to bring that into the space that you're trying to clean, right? So it's just better to get it from someone who's like vending it or who grows it, because you know that there's been limited contact with the sage and other people, and most likely they kind of cleanse themselves so that they're not spreading that negative energy onto the sage that they're selling to you. For the flakes, you can put them in like a frying pan. I've done that before, but I also have been using a Powershell, which is also a sacred Indigenous item. It's from the ocean. It's from an animal from the ocean. I learned this when I was abroad in New Zealand, and I was able to experience some Maori culture and some knowledge. And you know, you're really not supposed to take them from the beach because that's where they belong. This one I bought like in a, you know, what do you call it, the stores where they have the keychains and everything, where I told you like not to buy the sage. I bought it a Powershell, but I don't use it because like I said, I don't know what kind of energies have been on it. Even though I've cleansed it, I just don't feel right like using it. I don't know. But I found this one actually by my house, which is really weird because I'd only ever seen them in New Zealand, and when I came back there was one outside my house. It wasn't even at the beach, so I thought, wow, that must be some kind of coincidence or permission for me to use it, because it came to me, I didn't go get it. So I've been burning my sage out of this. So you want to just put a little bit in there, you want to light it up, get a good smoke going. And I was told to go clockwise around your space for protection, and counterclockwise around your space for removing, but either way you go, it's important to kind of complete the circle of protection, so to speak, and end in the same place that you started. It's also very important to clean your space before you smudge. You know, if you're gonna do your house, you're gonna do your room, you should clean it and then smudge, because all the negativity and stuff will still be there if you didn't like kind of freshen everything up. If you want to smudge yourself or someone else, what you do essentially is just wash it over you head to toe. It's kind of like you're picking the smoke up and carrying it over your person. And that's kind of the same thing as like when you're moving the smoke around your house, you're kind of causing it to wash over whatever you want to be cleaned. Sometimes people just have sage burning like an incense. I do not believe that is an effective way of smudging your space. You're meant to move the smoke around and, like I said, wash it over what you believe needs to be cleaned. Burning it as incense, it just kind of stays in one space. It just works as incense, right? Another thing is that people kind of put their sage on display, which I also disagree with. I've been taught that you don't put your sage on display. It's actually a really personal and sacred thing. You keep it, hidden or in a place that only you know until you need to use it. You can also keep flakes in these little pouches. I couldn't find mine because I hid them so well. But you can get like little leather pouches and put flakes of sage in it, carry it on your person, put in your backpack, put it in your car, just for that extra protection. And I personally don't let people see my sage or know where I keep it. One, it's personal, like your personal energies, but also two, you never know who wants to wish you ill harm. And if they see that you have sage, maybe they think that, oh, you're afraid of something, so they'll just, wish ill will on you anyway, if that makes sense. I don't know, I was just taught that sage is not really something that you want to show off, especially if you're using it for your protection. That is all I have for today. Let me know down below if you have anything else to add about saging or about smudging, or maybe you have some knowledge about how it originated in Indigenous cultures. I would love to know that and maybe make another video further explaining that. But at least for now, I hope this gives you a little bit of knowledge on how to smudge your space effectively and efficiently. And yeah, be well everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.